right, studio time check says it's 35 minutes gone past 6 a.m. Today is the 4th day in March of 2026. Good morning to you, dear listener. Thank you for tuning to Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio, your number one family radio in the whole of Oyo State. We're broadcasting live from the Wells Broadcasting House. It's located along Alafin Avenue, Oluyole State, Ibadan. That's where we're broadcasting live from this morning. You're welcome and thank you for joining us. On Perspectives Unlimited, we take a look at headlines and stories making the rounds across the different dailies in Nigeria. We discuss the stories. We go beyond the news. All we're trying to do is to help you make sense of these stories. So you're welcome once again. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Bolanle Oduekun. Ayola. Kindly follow us on all our social media platforms. As a matter of fact, we are currently live right now on Facebook at Wells Radio 893 FM fan page. That's Wells Radio 893 FM fan page. You can also find us on Instagram, TikTok, and X at Wells Radio 893. Visit our website, www.wellsradio893.com. This morning, as I said, we're taking a look at the front pages and we'll be discussing some of these stories. We'll start with the front page of the Punch newspaper, where the lead headline says, Tax Law VAT hits record 1 trillion naira as new sharing era begins. The rider says states, local governments pocket 903 billion naira under revised revenue sharing formula. Federal government's share drops to 10% as subnationals gain larger slice. And finally, Lagos leads with 111 billion naira VAT allocation in January. This is one of the headlines. We also have APC inaugurates state local government ESCOs after consensus poll. You find that on page 9 of the Punch newspaper this morning. More headlines. Federal government bans cash tax collections. Revenue roadblocks. That's on page 21. Rivers Assembly begins screening of 9 Fubara Commissioner nominees. You find that on page 8. Baby Factory, Ondo couple jailed 14 years. Find that on pages 4 and 5 of the Punch newspaper this morning. Tinubu nominates Oyedele as minister. That's on page 7. Customers to get 20 billion naira meter refunds from discos. That's from the NERC. Find that on page 11. El Rufai, DSS detains 5 over airport incident. 1 billion naira suit hangs. That's on page 7. And on the foreign scene, Israel-Iran tensions. Airlines lose over 7.5 billion naira amidst grounded flights. That's on page 21 of the Punch newspaper this morning. On the front page of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, the lead headline says APC governors consolidate as party picks state excos. Yedatiwa loyalist hail exercise. Ex-deputy governor emerges or your chairman. Akume Alia produced parallel excos in Benue. Enugu Delta governors pick former PDP chairman to lead APC. Edo grants Oshiomhole automatic ticket to Senate. That story can be found on pages 3, 27 and 30 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper this morning. Middle East crisis. NCPC puts pilgrimage to Jerusalem on hold. That's on page 27. Alcohol responsible for banditry, kidnapping. NAFDAC defense sachet ban. That's on page 30. Conservative Anglican bloc to elect rival leader in Abuja. You find out on page 27. DSS arrests 5 security operatives over El Rufai's failed arrest at Abuja Airport. Ex-Kaduna governor's 1 billion naira rights suit against ICPC. Others suffer setback. ADC demands end to selective justice. Calls for transparency in El Rufai Malami probes. You find that on pages 3 and 4. Lassa fever hits 18 states, 28 health workers infected. That story is on page 13 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper this morning. On the front page of the Daily Trust, the headlines are very, very similar. Gombe APC adopts President Tinubu as sole presidential candidate in 2027. That story is on page 6. Businesses bleed as blackout persists. That's on page 12. More headlines. The headlines are really similar this morning, but we'll go in depth and have discussions on what we have here. All right, that's it on the headlines, and I'll bring in our analyst at this point, Mr. Chukwemeka Manachi. So good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Bola.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. All right, we're going to be talking about a couple of things that we have here on the front page. But let's start with this. Last week, when the president nominated Tunji Disu as the acting IGP, he's now the substantive IGP. What do we put it? His speech afterwards led many Nigerians to talk about the fact that this was a loyalty nomination, because he had worked with him in Lagos, and he kept saying that, he's seen how he worked in Lagos, and he could vouch for him, and that's why he nominated him. Once again, President Bola Tinubu has nominated another person, Mr. Tawo Edele, as the Minister of State for Finance. Of course, his name, Mr. Tawo Edele, is not new to anyone. He's been the one championing the cause for the tax laws, and now he's been nominated as the Minister of State for Finance. And knowing, of course, that at the Senate, they rarely, if not ever, deny any of these nominations. They, at least from the beginning of President Bola Tinubu's reign, they have been assenting to all of these nominations. Do you think, is this also a loyalty nomination, or is this a well-deserved one? Because Mr. Tawo Edele is not a novice. He's an economist, an accountant, a public policy expert who led, the overhaul of Nigeria's tax system.
Okay. Is he the only expert on economics in Nigeria? Of course he's not. One thing you have to understand, Bola, is that the president has this behavior of rewarding those who are loyal to him.
Is that such a bad thing?
I'm coming. When you reward those who are loyal to you, who have done your biddings in time past, whether they are in tandem with the expectations of the country or not, that is bad. Some people may come up now to tell us later that Tinubu is a nationalist. He is not.
Why do you say that?
I see him as being clannish. I see him as being somebody who is doing the part of Buhari.
Are you saying he's bringing in his tribal men?
I'm coming. In a plural country like Nigeria, you have to balance everything. You have to, in order to run inclusive government. We know how Ebetoko came on board. He worked with Tinubu in Lagos. Olatunji Disu is a Lagos Island boy. What do they call this person? Bajabiya Mila. We know all of them. We know how they came on board. Maruf, the one that is education minister, we know how all of them came on board. They all had ties with Tinubu in the past. You understand? So you don't use that trajectory in a country as plural as Nigeria. You don't do that. If you are a nationalist, if you have a sense of balance, no matter how highly placed somebody is, there is another highly placed somewhere, another highly placed person somewhere. Don't tell me that Tawo Edele is the best economist in Nigeria. He is not. But because you want to maintain that, and those who shouted at Buhari that Buhari was flanizing Nigeria and now have now gone to their individual homes of silence. Nobody's talking. Afenifere was in the forefront, lampooning Buhari left, right, and center. Now you can't hear anything from Afenifere. The Southwest press that told the whole world how Buhari was clannish, how he was bringing, and that's why Buhari said he would prefer to work with those he knew. And now Tinubu is doing the same line. How do you expect people from other regions to see your government? No matter how well-intentioned you may be, there are still people you can bring on board from other. Look at the cabinet of Yaradua. Look at even Obasanjo from the Southwest also. Look at how we spread everything. That gives people a sense of belonging. Now you are concentrating everything. IGP Oduekun left. You brought another Yoruba man to take over. How do you explain it to people who are looking at your administration? So the sense of fairness is not there. There's no balance.
Now, yeah, the sense of fairness, but wouldn't it just make sense to work with people that you have worked with in time past?
If that is why, if you should all be working with people we have worked in time past, that does not make sense. You understand? Because you are coming from you are coming from an enclave, you are coming from a region, you are coming from a state. So if people would have worked with you in a state are people you will choose, what happened to people in Kano? What happened to people in Zamfara? They're all Nigerians. So unless you work with them, so will they come to Lagos to work with you before you pick them? That is not. There's no reason, no way you can explain this. And that is why, look, I keep saying it, that Nigeria appears to be abstract in imagination of so many people. If we are a country where we have national ethos, where we know where we are going as a people, you balance everything you are doing so that all of us will reach that destination. But Nigeria has no destination. So anybody that comes from any religion, comes from any tribe, bring all your people, bring them, put them anywhere you want to put them. Are they the best in the country? What of other people? Now, during the election, you will go around the whole country, or you don't believe, maybe 3 people will not campaign. But when he wants to campaign, will he go around all the countries and tell people? They will ask you, look at your cabinet. How do you explain that you want to carry them along? Are they all not Nigerians? Or the best economists are only in the southwest? The best IGP are only in the southwest? That's the question. So there's no sense of balance. If I'm in his shoe, I will not do that. If I want fairness, if I want a level playing ground for all Nigerians to be included in my governance, I will spread it because the best are still in other places. That's the way it is.
All right, thank you very much. Now, as Minister of State for Finance, Mr. Tawe Edele is expected to oversee the implementation of the tax reforms that he championed. This gives him more power, being the Minister of State for Finance, rather than just the expert who, helped Nigeria with the tax law reforms. He's now in a greater position of power, and there's no saying what will happen. We can see that this government is really, really serious about the implementation of this tax law. Just a quick backstory on who he is. Mr. Tawe Edele spent 22 years at PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers. He joined in 2001 and rose to become the fiscal policy partner and Africa tax leader before he came back here to head the tax reform committee here in Nigeria. He attended the Yaba College of Technology, where he obtained a HND in accounting and finance before proceeding to Oxford Brookes University for a BSc in applied accounting. As I said, this shows us how serious this government is with the tax reforms. Now, what is your perspective, Mr. Chukwemeka? This new position, no doubt, gives Mr. Tawe Edele more power to act on the tax reform laws, considering the fact that the earlier complaint from the House of Reps has not really been addressed. We don't know what was put in there. We don't know who put it in there. We don't know if it has been removed. Everyone has just kept quiet about it. And the fact that Nigerians are not even very clear still about this new tax law and how it will affect them.
You see, if you look at Taiwo Oyedele and when he started this scale of a tax reform, he went to a religious ground sometime and was telling them that even prostitutes we pay tax. Even though
the job description is not legal.
Even though the job description is not legal, which means in one way or the other, you are endorsing prostitution in Nigeria, which is illegal. You see, he came up and he was saying one thing. NRS that has not, FIRS that has not been renamed, we are saying a different thing. I think in the days to come, we are going to see how Mr. Taiwo Oyedele will be able to explain to Nigerians. Many things were tampered with. The House of Reps said what they passed was not what was included when they did the harmonization. And he will explain to Nigerians, because up to today, Nigerians are still not in the know about what the tax reform
and the
is
House
all
of
about.
Reps too, they've kept quiet.
That is the way we roll. They kept quiet because you don't know what is going on. But like, at times you really have to sympathize with them. There is a lot of weight on some of them. Look at what we did about real-time transmission of election results. You know, and the pressure on these people are too high. You understand? And maybe that's the reason why they kept quiet. I'm not there, but I'm telling you that in the days to come, Taiwo Oyedele now he has a platform where to tell Nigerians exactly, and also to debunk whether the harmonization was actually whether it actually took place or not, because the rep cried blue mother that what we passed was not what was what the president assented to. So we are going to know, and I keep saying, Bola, if we are honest, transparent, and serious human beings in this country, these tax laws of 18 should be printed in local languages so that people will understand exactly where the government is taking them to. But because we don't carry the people along, the people seems to be abrogated. Government will just stay in Abuja and be passing laws and that will affect the generality of the citizens, and the citizens are not in the know. How do you run a government that way? How is it done? The people that this thing will affect in one way or the other are not in the know of what you are doing. How do you explain it? Is that how to run a government? As a government? It's not. That is pure. I don't know how to explain it, but as a Bola, but it is not right. Nigerians should not be continually be taken for granted. Without them, there will be no leadership. At least you should respect them a bit and let them know what you are doing with their, what you are going to do, where you are taking them to. Let them know. You don't just. It's like we are kidnapped or our lives have been rigged. Honestly speaking, because we are not asking questions, and when we ask questions, nobody gives us an answer. All these people that are kidnapped, do they ask their kidnappers any question? You don't ask. They say close their mouth. You won't talk. That's why the whole nation is quiet, like a country that is kidnapped.
All right, let's move to other stories this morning. Still in the finance sector, on the Punch newspaper, the headline reads, Tax law, VAT hits record 1 trillion naira as new sharing era begins. Now, total value-added tax earnings rose to 1.08 trillion naira in January as the new sharing formula commenced, altering how the proceeds are split among the federal government, state and local governments, according to findings by the Punch. Now, documents were presented at the February meeting of the Federal Account Allocation Committee on Tuesday showed that total VAT collections by the Nigeria Revenue Service stood at 1.08 trillion naira in January 2026, compared with 913.96 billion naira in December 2025. Now, the increase of 169.20 billion naira represents an 18.5% rise month on month. They said, however, the full money was not available for sharing. But all of this, what I'm trying to bring out is that previously, the federal government received 15% of the VAT, states received 50%, and local governments 35%. But now it's changed. States will now receive 55%, and which is now more than they would have received before. Our state governors now hold more money from the Federal Accounts Allocation Committee or Commission. And even before this new VAT, we have heard time and time again from the president and from several elected officials that we need to hold our governors responsible, because they now, and some governors have admitted that they're actually getting more money in allocations. What can we do to hold our governors accountable for this money?
Those who are telling us to hold our governors accountable, they know too well there's no mechanism for us to hold our governors responsible. Look, Bola, you see why governors are singing on your mandate we stand. There is more money. And giving this money governors are collecting, have you seen any impact on the people? It is like putting fertilizer to weeds, as far as I'm concerned. Have you seen any of the impact on the people? Can you? You can't. And that is why everybody is jumping, leaving one party to another party, because there's something to share. And in a country where there's no accountability, Bola, giving money to people is just like throwing trying to make a sea, throwing salt inside the sea. He can't see the effect. The governors have more money. The people are living in penury. Nigerians are now go to parties. I don't know whether it has happened. That's what we're discussing this morning on Wazobia. Do you know that if you go to parties right now, what they share in parties are now Maggi, matches, sugar, gari, and beans. That as a souvenir, that's what people are sharing. And we keep hearing that our GDP is growing and a Congo of gari remains a luxury. How do you explain that kind of economic? How do you explain it to Nigeria? Governors are now receiving more money. Everybody, what are they using the money for? You say we should go and hold. How do we hold them accountable? How do we? Do we meet the governor on the road and say, Governor, come? How much did you receive from? In fact, Bola, that's why I keep advocating for a restructuring of this country in a way that when you come to leadership position, you know you carry a lot of weight on your shoulder. You'll be accountable. A country where there's no accountability to the citizen cannot work. You may have all the money, but the people will not have. There's nothing to show on the people that you have money. Tell me the governors in Nigeria today. Tell me the states where now they are telling them to. They've removed the power from the exclusive list. Governors are not thinking of investing in power because it is capital intensive. What are they investing that money on? No, that's the question we ask ourselves. Some of them that have invested in something, they invested in something that looks so foolish. The governors that invested in rebuilding a cemetery, the governor that are invested in as in renovating government houses. How many people are living in government houses? How many people are living there? What of the people that are in your state? What of the citizens of that state? What are you doing to make sure that their lives are meaningful? And even, do you know why I say we are trapped? We are trapped because do you know how much it costs to get the Nigerian passport now? Do you know how much it costs? So how many people will get that kind of money to go and get a passport to travel out? You are simply trapped. And the money government is sharing, that's what we sharing formula. You are sharing something that people are not seeing the effect on the people. Where are they keeping the money? That is why governors are singing that song, On Your Mandate We Stand. Because they know that, yes, we have a lot in our pocket. And they are not, our physical irresponsibility is on the rise. What are we doing with that money? The people that matter, the people in Nigeria, the citizens of this country, does it reflect on their lifestyle? Go to the main road. Go anywhere and look at the faces of Nigeria, because our faces are billboards. Forget about the billboard they put on the express road. Our faces as Nigerians are the billboard of the goodness or badness of the policies of the federal government.
Thank you very much. Now, to shed more light on what you said about hunger in Nigeria. Nigeria is currently the nation with the highest number of hungry people, and this has increased over the years. In 2019 it was at 13.60%, in 2020 it was at 15.10%, in 2021 it was at 17%, in 2022 it was at 18%, and guess what, now in 2020, at least in 2025, late last year, it has moved to 30.6 million people in 26 states and the FCT who now face acute food shortage and nutritional insecurity. We'll take a short break.
Okay.
Apologies.
We talk about the fruits of the policies. These are the fruits of the policies of the government.
We'll take a short break, and when we come back, Perspectives Unlimited will continue. Don't go anywhere. It's still Perspectives Unlimited on Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
Attention, schools in Ibadan and its environs. Association of Christian Schools International, ACSI, is calling on Christian schools, mission schools, and church schools to join us at the annual Kingdom Scholars Rendezvous 2026. Are you ready to see your students shine like never before? Then join us. We're kicking off with the Ibadan edition with the theme Shining Light. Date 5th March 2026. Venue Christ Ambassadors International College, Alafin Avenue, Oluyo Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. This impactful gathering will feature inspiring sessions with Pastor Dr. Olumuyiwa Adisa alongside engaging group projects, presentations, games, breakout sessions, and exciting musical moment. And that's not all. The Oduekun edition will come up on the 12th March 2026 with the same theme, Shining Light. Venue, Sharon Rose Schools and College. Shaki speaker, Mrs. Teniola Oluwashola, founder and proprietress, Sharon Rose Schools and College, Shaki Schools in Oduekun and surrounding communities. This is your moment to be part of this life-shaping experience designed to raise confident, faith-driven scholars. Registration is open to both members and non-member schools. Each school slot covers 10 students, the proprietor, 1 teacher, all for 40,000 naira. Give your students a platform to grow in faith, confidence, and knowledge. To register your school, act now. Call 0706 387 1522. Kingdom Scholars Rendezvous 2026. Raising a generation that shines. Association of Christian Schools International. ACSI. Stronger together.
How long will it take you to confirm payment? I have been waiting for the past 1 hour. I'm so sorry. Our network is slow. I will just run out of data. Same excuse yesterday. It is unacceptable, please. You better switch to One Data Internet Service. One Data? Yes, One Data. One Data is an internet service provider with the best alternative and solution for unlimited speed. One Data provides fast and reliable internet service to organizations, homes, and places of interest in Nigeria. With One Data, you get to enjoy the premium internet service with dedicated unlimited internet speed at all times, 24/7 fantastic customer service and support, and you enjoy a 1-month free subscription when you make payment. Now is the time to say goodbye to downtimes. Sign up with One Data today on 0811 223 2671 or visit www.onedata.ng for more inquiries. One Data, unlimited speed.
Are you hungry for something delicious? Food that feels like home but tastes like pure luxury? Then welcome to Honeydew Restaurant, where every meal is made to make you smile. From our smoky jollof to rich ofada sauce to a variety of delicious soups like egusi, eforiro, and more, paired with your favorite proteins and hot, freshly made swallows, all made for you to enjoy. We also handle bulk orders in liters, fresh and ready whenever you need it. We deliver it to your doorstep. At Honeydew, it's not just the food, it's the feel. With our beautiful ambience, perfect for your romantic dates, family outings, or your quiet, relaxing evening escape. Join us every last Friday of the month at 7 p.m. for karaoke night with Jayola and enjoy music, games, food, drinks, and free mocktails and cocktails as you sing your hearts out. Visit us at Plot 42, Block 8, Alaafin Avenue, beside Wells Radio, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. For your doorstep delivery or inquiries, call or WhatsApp 0814-691-6635, 0814-691-6635. Honeydew Restaurant, where every meal is made to make you smile.
Boost your business with Wells Radio 89.3 FM. In a competitive world of business, strategic brand and product positioning is key to growth. Don't remain unseen in the shadows. Shine a spotlight on your brand with Wells Radio 89.3 FM today. Why Wells Radio? We are your state's #1 family radio station. We connect with the heart of families in your state. As the smallest unit of the society, families trust Wells Radio for quality content and information. Visit us today along Alaafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. Our white and blue building just before Sharp Corner ensures your business won't go unnoticed. Advertise with us today. Call our marketing office on 0903 936 8185. Call Toby on 0803 509 3394. Ayo on 0706 840-7359. Take the leap today. Let Wells Radio 89.3 FM be the megaphone for your business success. You won't regret it.
Yo, what's up?
Baby, let's go!
Hey there! Want to stay connected to your favorite radio station? Follow us on social media for the latest updates, entertaining wholesome content, and behind-the-scene peaks. We're on Instagram at Wells Radio 893, Facebook Wells Radio 893 FM fan page, X Wells Radio 893. Follow our WhatsApp channel Wells Radio 89.3 FM. Get a scoop on upcoming shows, giveaways, and events. Also get to interact with your favorite presenters and share your thoughts on our posts and stories. Join the conversation and stay tuned into Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
All right, you're welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. It's still Perspectives Unlimited on Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio, your number one family radio in the whole of Oyo State. We're still taking a look at headlines and stories making the rounds across the different dailies in Nigeria. On the front page of the Vanguard newspaper, the lead headline says El Rufai, Malami victims of selective justice, says ADC. Now, the African Democratic Congress, ADC, has accused the administration of President Bola Tinubu of applying selective justice in the handling of legal cases involving former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El Rufai and former Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami. The opposition party said the sequence of arrests, interagency custody movements, and the overall pace of actions against the two men have triggered serious public concern about whether the rule of law is being applied evenly across political lines. The ADC National Publicity Secretary, Bolaji Abdullahi, in a statement yesterday said the party had been closely watching developments involving its members. He said that the ADC believes that no citizen, regardless of stature or past office, is above the law. They say, but regardless of that, the justice must be applied evenly, transparently, and without political calculation. Now, I want to take you back, our analysts, to Yahaya Bello, former governor of Kogi State, who is standing trial for an alleged multi-billion naira fraud. It was alleged that he took money from the state to about 110.4 billion naira. They say that he paid his children's fees. Oh, we have a call. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you, madam.
Yes, Ruth calling from Alakia.
You're welcome, Ruth. Please go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. On the El-Rufai case, high time is held accountable for its action. Because when a public figure like his status speaks about phone tapping, it really raises serious concern about abuse of power. So there must be no backdoor arrangements or political cover-ups. Because Nigeria should not pity him. He needs to face the consequences. So Nigeria really deserves transparency, and our leaders must do the right thing on time. Good morning.
Thank you so much for your contribution. You can hear the passion in her voice. As I was saying, I'd like to take you back to Yahaya Bello, who is still on trial as far as I'm concerned on that matter. Latest we heard was that, and this was around that the courts have fixed March 9 on whether documents that ought to be tendered by the EFCC can be admitted as evidence in the money laundering trial of former Governor Yahaya Bello. Now, this same former Governor Yahaya Bello was seen attending the APC summit at the presidential villa, and I believe he was also appointed as something that has to do with the APC as well. Let's look at the speed of these trials and investigation.
You see, before we went on break, we were talking about
apologies.
Poverty.
Just go ahead.
Poverty level in Nigeria. Let's address that before we come to Yahaya Bello stuff. The poverty level that you have just said is a testimony of the policies of this federal government. You understand? Every policy of every government is to upgrade the life of the people, to make life bearable. But if your policies are creating poverty, joblessness, hopelessness, you have to go back to the drawing board and find out, why am I inflicting pain on the people, or am I offering solution? Look at the rise in the number of Nigerians who have gone into poverty, living below breadline. It has increased astronomically, and yet people in the you see, propaganda will never give you good governance. You have to look reality in the face. You have to look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself the truth. That is why I believe that if you want to stay in power, go back to the people with scorecard of what you have done. Don't use influencers to come and cajole people. Don't go. That is why all we are seeing around today towards 2027, that is why it is happening. Because there is nothing to point at and say, we have lifted how many million people out of poverty. Instead of lifting us up, people are descending into poverty on daily basis. The president's wife sometime last year said, we are seeing the fruits of renewed hope agenda. I have not seen the fruit, and I'm still looking for somebody who has seen the fruit to tell me whether it is green or red or black. But the fruits are all over the place. Look at the faces of the people. You will understand where we are today as Nigerians. Back to Yahaya Bello. Yahaya Bello and the ADC. We are not fighting corruption in Nigeria. We are endorsing it.
Let's take this call, please. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you, ma. Your name and where you're calling from? You're welcome. Please go ahead.
Yeah, concerning the tax law, just take a look at it. My own take is that since the tax this thing has increased, the VAT has increased, that means more money for our politicians to steal. While masses are being thrown into more poverty, other countries collect tax to move the poor out of poverty. But this administration,
hello.
This present administration, they collect more tax to play among themselves. Just to look at our health care system, the education system, everything is destabilized. So where is now the use of the tax that are being collected? May God help us. Thank you very much.
Amen. Thank you so much for your contribution. The phone lines are open. I apologize. 0916-893-1000, 0915-333-4893, and 0911-3333-893. I'll take the numbers again. 0916-893-1000, 0915-333-4893, and 0911-3333-893. These are the numbers to call for you to be a part of the conversation this morning. You can also drop your comments on our Facebook fan page, Wells Radio 893 FM fan page.
So there is nothing like a war against corruption in Nigeria. It's a ruse. Only those who don't understand what is going on in Nigeria will believe we are not fighting corruption in Nigeria. And
if you say we're not fighting
we
corruption,
are not.
then what's happening with the current cases against
SAG? They are all theater. We are selective. We are
Hello,
selective.
good morning.
Good morning, West Radio.
Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Chukwemeka. My name is Salami. I'm calling from Awaton.
Yeah, good morning, Salami.
My brother, well done, sir. You see, for me, the appointment of Mr. Oyedele as Minister of State for Finance can be seen in two ways. And I can only say that the reason behind the development is best known to Mr. President. It's really Mr. President that wants to know what he wants him to do for him, whether he wants him to kind of see to the implementation of his various tax reforms, or whether he wants him to kind of help him manage the nation's funds and what have you. I don't know. There's no to Mr. President alone. However, I have a particular grounds with this administration. And my grounds is the fact that to me it seems that there's no proper laid down spending policy of this administration. How do I mean? No regime in this country since 1999 has been so lucky, has been so exposed to the level of cash this administration has had. But it just seems that there is no clear spending plan on the part of the government, federal government I mean. So that is why every money, every excess fund we are earning is just being shared with the state governors. I can tell you that even the savings from the first subsidy removal is enough to even at least build a new refinery, at least one. And after that one now, the various windfalls now. And you can imagine that state governors are just money to the bank. It was reported that even VAT allocation alone, they got a loan got about $1 billion in January. Can you imagine? So all this money, all the excess fund the government and the federal government is making through Mr. President's ingenuity, one can give it to him that at least he's been able to navigate here and there, make more money, tax people, even though people are crying, people are dying. But at least that he's been able to make more money for the government. But instead of spending this money to refer to the rest of Nigerians, he's busy sharing this money with the state governors. This cannot help him. This cannot help his regime. So we only pray that hopefully that there must be a consolidated account for excess earnings from government, so that at least government can plan for it for development for Nigeria, for growth, for the economy. It's not about declaring GDP. It's not 23 trillion, this and that, and that, blah blah blah. No. We want something that will translate to the lives of Nigerians. I'm sure the governors will be warming up now for the windfall from this Gulf crisis, because they know they will still get more money and they still use the money to buy more SUVs and what have you. We God save Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Salami, for your comprehensive analysis. And this is the conversation. This is the kind of conversation that I know that we should be having. It's not just enough to take a look at numbers at a glance. We want to know, how this money is coming in, how they've been spent, accountability and transparency.
Well, if Nigerians want to know, they will wait for eternity, because there will never be accountability. The way and manner people come into governance matter a lot. How did you come to that place? How did you come to where you are today? The same spirit with which you came into power will follow you through, because nobody will run away from his shadow. If you come to power through crooked means, you will always be crooked in whatever you are doing. You can never be straightforward. You can never be accountable. You can never tell people what is happening and what is not happening. Everything will be shrouded in mystery. People will be left in the dark. We are talking of poverty. We are talking of what Nigerians are going through. We are talking of making more money, and yet at the expense of the people. Now, let's leave that. Yaya Bello and co. If we are fighting, if you just ask me a question, if this is selective justice. Okay.
Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, the beautiful woman.
Good morning, sir.
This is Junior Mary calling from Apapa.
You're welcome, Mr. Mario.
I want to ask you a question of elder man here. Who told you the Arabic is having the case in court? I'm telling you, this is Nigeria. Though we know that it is having the pending case in court. But these people, they are the ends of affair. Like when we are reading out the extra the other time, you said Arabelo was given a juicy post in APC, which is true. He was to be he was given a post to champion the cause for Mr. President election that will be coming up in 2027. So how do we expect such persons to have a pending case in court and we know win already? So nobody see ourselves. Nothing will come back from Arabelo case in court. I'm telling you. I didn't think Arabelo is in opposition. I'm telling you, you can see exactly he has the case. If Erufai, if Erufai, if he should become to APC today, despite the fact that they still having a case, he has been held back for some time now. If he should allow this one that he has taken to APC, I'm telling you, all those allegations against him, he will strike out immediately. Quote my word, he will strike out. So the justice system in this country is something that I don't really take serious, and not is something I cannot really vouch for. So you understand. And lastly, the only thing that is making that is agreeing with this money is the issue of the crisis that came up in Middle Belt that is now affecting the Nigerians. As I yet today now, their fuel is being sold for 1,000 naira per liter. And according to somebody that was talking to me yesterday, who is an oil expert, he said we should expect more increase in the coming week. So what if our leaders have done the right thing for us? If there's a war in many parts of the world, shouldn't have engulf our country because our leaders have done the right thing. So this is a failure on the part of our leaders, which is not too good. And Nigerians are bleeding and we are crying on this. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mario, for your contribution this morning. 0916-893-1000, 0915-333-4893, and 0911-3333-893. These are the numbers to call to be a part of the conversation this morning.
So it is not it's not possible for us to have a viable country, a country that will thrive, if we don't deal with corruption. It's not possible. And if we don't get men and women who will say enough is enough and come on board, that if you commit anything, no matter who you are, you pay for it. Let me even tell you, when this man was in power, I've forgotten the person, his own finance minister, something happened. And they wanted to corrupt him. Aminu Kanu was the finance minister. Some people wanted to rope him in. They paid some money into his account. He returned the money to the federal government.
That's a good call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
Close to analysts in the studio. So I make sure calling from now.
You're welcome, Mr. Sheriff, and I must say thank you so much for always engaging on our Facebook fan page.
Thank you. Regarding the issue of corruption, like what the analyst said, I think he was right. We are not fighting corruption in this country. It's like we are making a selective judgment. It's not supposed to be, because there's a lot of people that in the corridor of power, anytime they finish that term as president, even as a governor or even ministers, they stress a lot of unquestionable character among them when they're in the office. But anytime they join the EPC, that corruption cases, you don't hear anything about it again. Apart from that bill, let us put that bill aside. What about the Senate president? There are corruption cases against him. Even not only him, the former governor of Delta State, Okowa. So that time that I joined the APC, we are not hearing anything about it again. That means the statement created by Adam Oshiomhole when he was the APC chairman that once you join the APC, all your sins are forgiven. So that means the judgment that we are passing through Malamina and El-Rufai, maybe because they are not in the APC. Once they join the APC tomorrow, all they are saying will be forgiven again. That means there is no consequence for wrongdoing, and that wrongdoing will continue to persist if there is no capital punishment for those people that is fulfilling the public fund. That's my submission. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sheriff, for your contribution this morning. That's we recall that statement that was credited to Adam Oshiomhole, which he has since refuted. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, West Radio.
Good morning to you, sir.
My name is George. I'm calling you from Ologwe.
You're welcome, Mr. George. Please go ahead.
This issue of corruption that we are talking about, do you know that the appointment made by the president so far, just like the first discussion you started with this morning, appointing people that you know that you can work with in a country like Nigeria is corruption. Understand? I am appointing people that I know I can work with is corruption. So, and we can see that so many people that have been accused of embezzling billions of naira that are still in that same government, and they are working with you, and they are telling you on your mandate you stand. Where then are you going to defend the issue of fighting corruption? So we have allowed corruption to exist, and that there's nothing we can do about it. Anyone that commits offense, if you come to me, you are free. It's corruption. So this administration is not fighting any corruption. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. George, for your contribution. May I say, just to clear the air, that the statement credited to Mr. Shemole, he has refuted it several times to say that he didn't say it. However, journalists who were present at the occasion have insisted that he said it, going as far as quoting his actual words. Just to clear the air on that.
Yes, but do we expect Oshomole to agree that he said it? He will not. They will tell you that it is the press that quoted him out of context. That's the usual thing. You understand? He made the statement, and the statement will remain eternal. And we are seeing the demonstration of that statement. You understand? Everywhere. We are seeing the demonstration. We are seeing it being demonstrated live.
All right. Thank you so much. This seems to be a fine place to rest the show this morning. Thank you so much, Mr. Chukwemeka.
Thank you for having me, Bola.
Unlimited. Don't go anywhere. The sporting crew is ready to give you the latest stories and updates in the world of sports. And from there, we move on to other shows. It's going to be a very beautiful time here on Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio, your number one family radio in the whole of Oyo State. My name is Bolanle Oduekun Ayola. As a citizen of Nigeria, it is your right to know what is happening. Start today. Question your representatives, your governors, and your president. Have a wonderful day. God bless you. Please listen to this important information. The views expressed by the interviewee in this program are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of Wells Radio 89.3 FM or its affiliated entities. Wells Radio 89.3 FM is committed to providing a platform for diverse perspectives and opinions, and the views expressed by guests on our programs are their personal viewpoints. Wells Radio 89.3 FM does not endorse or take responsibility for the content or opinions expressed by individual interviewees and callers. Thank you. Not just another